Hello, everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Chico. Woo! We have a nice, intimate group today, and that I'm sure Berlyn is very thankful for. She is here practicing her pitch that she is going to be doing at the business competition on campus tomorrow, so we want to give her our support. She's to get in front of people and talk is always a difficult thing, so we are the supportive audience to help you. So 1 Million Cups is a celebration of 140 cities across the United States to celebrate how hard it is to be an entrepreneur and to support each other. And the idea was generated out of the Kauffman Foundation over how many cups of coffee it takes to build an idea and to support each other in an entrepreneurial community. We have a volunteer organization group here who puts this on every week, and we have some of our organizers in the audience. We have Danny and Preston and Jennifer and myself, Wendy and Aaron, and I think, did I miss anybody? Okay. And we have sponsors that help us put this on every week. BCAC TV, Levi and Rocky are here. Thank you guys. We also have 6 Degrees Coffee every single week. They brew the coffee for us at their distribution center, and they drive it over here and they drop it off. Elizabeth and Amy couldn't be here today, but we love and appreciate their coffee, so thank you, 6 Degrees. And of course, Idea Fab Labs, thank you so much for the venue. It's amazing and beautiful as always. Thank you, Aaron. Woo! So I know that I've mentioned that we're gonna start bringing on a new thing to do each month. Once a month, we're gonna be having a talk to help entrepreneurs, whether it's on marketing or creating your lean business model. We're not quite sure what that is going to look like. A lot of other 1MC organizations do that. We were going to do it today, but we got Berlyn at the last minute to present, so we're happy to have her. So probably next week we are going to have more of a discussion around what do we want our 1MC community to look like. Every community is different, so we invite you to come and participate in that conversation and to invite your friends. Also, it's filling the pipeline every week. It's quite the challenge, so keep your eyes and ears open for anybody who has a great idea. This is, once again, a really supportive community, so you don't have to have a full fleshed out business. We want to come and hear your friends' ideas, your ideas. It's really easy to apply. We have coaches that can help you through that. So next week, bring a friend. All right, so we have 6 minutes for Berlyn to talk to us about Plant Burger, and then we'll do 20 minutes of questions and answers. So take it away, Berlyn. Oh wait, I do have one more thing. Today is the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King's death, and so I came across a quote that really made me think something that all entrepreneurs can really rally around, so I wanted to read that to you today. This is from Martin Luther King Jr. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. So I think we can all relate to that one. So with that, here's Berlyn.
Hey, good morning. My name is Berlyn Hale. I'm a veteran, and the Marine Corps is the hardest thing I've been through in my life so far. I entered at the age of 18, and I was young and impressionable and naive, and combined with stress and peer pressure, I picked up a lot of bad habits. Greasy beef burritos, cigarettes, beer, not enough exercise, poor stress management. I've learned a lot since that time, and my business stems from the knowledge I've gained. I have a passion for creating in the kitchen, exercise, dance, and being in nature. I appreciate farmers and our farmers market, and I have a concern for our nation's health and the overall state of the food system's impact on the environment. I've known for a few years now that I wanted a food and health related business, but I came up with this idea with my mom last August because we were both passionate about feeding people with nourishing food. I see a hole in the Chico market for vegan food as there are no strictly plant-based food establishments here. Oftentimes, vegetarian and vegan food options contain faux meats or questionable ingredients. Consumers are increasingly looking for healthier food options when eating out that are still tasty and convenient. There are also larger scale issues. Disease associated with diet and lifestyle include high blood pressure and cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune disorders, allergies, cancer, Alzheimer's, stroke, and of course, the #1 killer in America, heart disease. Okay. Additionally, there are issues of environmental sustainability and animal welfare concerns. With a growing population, we simply cannot afford to have a diet heavy in animal proteins. Plant Burger is a mobile food trailer providing breakfast and lunch. We aim to revolutionize American fast food one community at a time. We promise to stay 100% plant-based, mindfully source our ingredients to be local and organic as possible, and deliver a delicious fast food meal that will do no harm to your health, the planet, or animals. What's on the menu? Plant Burger patties are based off of black beans and brown rice with a gluten-free bun. Our baked French fries use organic potatoes. And this ice cream look-alike, Dream Cream, is made from avocado and coconut milk. Sparkle sodas use natural, organic, fair trade soda syrups. Our initial beachhead market in Chico is the vegan community. The Chico Vegan Community Facebook page has almost 900 members, and they love to share local food finds, and are enthusiastic about their lifestyle and cite animal welfare as their #1 concern. They are avid influencers. Our target market, 3% of the population is vegan or vegetarian all of the time. 18 to 34-year-olds is 5%. There is growing interest in America on wanting to cut back on animal products. We are confident that even carnivores will enjoy our delicious food. Our target market is millennials and Generation Z. Millennials make up 1/4 of Chico's population, and half of millennials eat out 3 or more times per week. 12% of millennials consider themselves faithful vegetarians. Generation Z composes 1/3 of Chico's population aged 21 and under. They are particularly more likely to look for plant-based menus when eating out. They are highly aware of global issues and are very open-minded to plant-based eating. The 3 magical words they look for are natural, organic, and sustainable. Next slide. So a few of the asks I have are we are looking for a CPA and lawyer who are familiar with this industry. We're on the lookout for commercial kitchen space. If anyone knows about ice cream makers or soda machines, particularly for lease, or even to use on a short-term basis to kind of do some R&D, putting my vegan ice cream mix in the machine. Also looking to possibly lease a trailer or food truck on a short-term basis. And if anyone knows of a commercial realtor or commercial space that we could possibly do like a pop-up short-term lease to kind of get our feet wet and try it out and practice. Thank you. Yes.
I think one of our previous Million Cup speakers was talking about doing some kind of commercial kitchen. Okay.
Tim Sharkey. I am looking at Miriam Park. I'm hoping to get in on that because the timeline should be perfect within a year and a half or so to get a space. I am connected with them. Thank you.
It's really more of a comment, but your food looked so good. I just wanted to eat it.
My mom's like, those pictures look terrible. You shouldn't use them.
No, I was actually just thinking like that's the biggest mistake I see like brands make is not having content, and I was just like,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, have you talked to other food truck vendors?
Not so much. No. I mean, I know taco trucks is pretty much the huge one, and I don't usually attend Thursday night market, but I need to because I would really like to scope out the scene and even talk to, I think there's a guy who does burgers just to see like what their foot traffic is there. That'd be interesting.
Well, I was thinking possibly even partnering with one to get your product out there for test marketing before you invest in leasing the truck and everything on your own.
Okay. Thank you.
that's a great idea. And just to follow up on that, there is a food truck street Chico Facebook page that I would maybe recommend connecting with because he can put you in touch with the people who do food trucks in Chico. It'd be a good resource. Maybe.
Okay. I'm surprised I haven't come across that yet.
Yeah, it's I haven't noticed it lately, but for a while he was like kind of posting everyone's locations and keeping up to date. So he had an inner circle with a lot of the food trucks in Chico.
And you can't remember his name right now.
The page is like Street Food Chico or something.
Okay.
Let me see. I can pull you up here.
Okay.
Is the aim to be a restaurant or a food truck?
So we would like to scale. We initially thought that a food truck would be the best way to have a lower overhead, but now I'm looking at it. I believe the payment on the food truck in order to like finance it would be $1,100 a month. So if I could find a space that's around that or less, I would definitely be open to it, because my ultimate goal is for this to be a fast food restaurant with a drive-through nationwide and be like a private franchise.
Okay. And then the other thing is just a comment. Plant burger to me sounds like dinner. So I was actually surprised when I heard breakfast and lunch.
No,
Just
I've
my
gotten
own-
that. It was
my own
initially just a
thoughts.
lunch idea.
Okay.
But the reason I came up with breakfast is there is a like an egg dupe item I was curious about. When I saw that, I was like, oh, if I could get this product in Chico and be the first person to have like a breakfast burrito that kind of looks like and tastes like egg, I thought that would be a huge hit. So that's why I kind of started looking at breakfast.
It looks delicious, and I want to go to the restaurant, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we really liked the name, so we did struggle with that when we were like, well, maybe our first items aren't going to be the burger, but it has to be the burger because we already chose this name. But then it's just my mom and I for now. It's like, I don't think we could do, I don't know about
Okay.
the work involved when it's just for now. But yeah, I would love to be open, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and serve all day. That would be great. Yes.
Yeah, another possibility is you mentioned that there aren't a lot of restaurants that have anything vegan here in Chico, or even in Sacramento. You almost have to go to Portland to find stuff like that. Have you considered the possibility of being a supplier to local restaurants to augment their current recipes with vegan options?
No, I hadn't thought about that. That's a good idea. Like I have this idea that our plant burger patties, like selling them in grocery stores, is frozen, or even if we could figure out the ice cream to make that work in supermarkets. But I like that idea of. But then again, it's like losing a little bit of control, because that's why I said private franchise, because I want to kind of maintain control over the product and have it be prepared correctly. So,
Yeah, I understand.
but I'll keep an open mind about that for sure. Thank you. Yes.
Hi. So yeah, Impossible Burger does that basically. So
Right.
they have their product, licensed, branded, so other burger joints, they don't have to be plant-based or vegan restaurants per se, but you can order an Impossible Burger. Like on their website, they have Cafe Leon listed and the Banshee listed. I've never seen the Impossible Burger on either
They're delicious.
of those menus
Yes.
here in town.
I've had them at the Banshee.
I've had them with
Great.
Banshee and they're amazing.
They are, okay, and so you're ordering that item from that company, so they're maintaining the integrity of their brand, which is maybe a thought.
It's actually the only reason we often go to the Banshee. We have friends who's vegan and it's the only place you can go to get it.
I guess part of my thought on that is that I kind of want to maintain separation, because I don't want my burger being cooked on the same grill as the beef patties, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm too,
No, that's a valid argument.
just because that's part of it, is like there's no place that's strictly vegan and like no cross-contamination issues. Yes.
What kind of testing of your products have you done as far as cooking them and giving them to friends?
I've done extensive testing on my family. Of course, they're big fans, no surprise. But one of our testings that went really well is our baby boomer neighbors across the street who don't follow any sort of special diet or healthy eating. They loved it, and I served them the full fries and burger and the ice cream, and they were blown away by it. Their words, not mine. Yeah.
Another one. So people are probably going to like it. But have you done any kind of market research with vegans? And if you have, how many?
Other than just really, I'm pretty much on the vegan Chico Facebook page every day, seeing what people are posting about, and just watching them, and they're trying to move around the community and find the particular vegan items per restaurant. So I think, like, even Own Foods, I identify as my closest competitor. They're serving fish tacos. So this would, like, kind of set us apart that we don't.
So, sorry, I'm all the way back here. Is there any, so you're saying there's not a restaurant in Chico that's completely vegan at all?
Correct.
Have you figured out why that is? Is there a reason why there's no vegan restaurant in town?
I would look to the population size. Maybe people think it's just too small of a portion, but I truly believe that I've had people say to me, well, I would never eat there because I eat meat. But I just think that's nonsense, because my one slide, I think it said 37% of people sometimes eat vegetarian when eating out. So maybe even if you're with your vegetarian friends, it can be a good compromise, because you're getting a similar product, but it's better for you without the saturated fat and cholesterol.
I said this to you the other day, but I'll just repeat it for the group. So there is a lot of market research, a lot of consumer studies that do have quantifiable data that says a lot of consumer behaviors and attitudes are changing, and the fact that they have this tension that they're, like, hungry, they're on the way to work, or they're, it's lunchtime, and they kind of have this internal conflict going on, saying, I want to eat more plant-based. They're not vegan themselves, they're not necessarily 100% committing to a vegan lifestyle, but more and more people, it's something like 35% of, like, the entire population has a goal of eating more plant-based this year, and they just don't have good alternatives. And so when you're hungry, you're just going to go for whatever is available. And so if you have this available, if there's a drive-through that's just as convenient and affordable as In-N-Out, let's say, and it's a plant-based burger, and it's tasty, and it's affordable, it's satisfying the consumer need without having to necessarily cater to solely committed, vegans. So I think all of the proof kind of data is out there for you. I think it's a really great concept.
Forbes says 2018 is the year for veganism.
I'm blanking on the name, but there's a place I think in Santa Rosa or the Bay Area that.
Amy's Kitchen?
Yeah.
Have you been there?
I haven't been there, no.
Okay, so I tried to Google them. It looks like they're not open anymore. And then I saw on Yelp they had like 3.5 stars, so maybe when they were open they weren't that great.
I was
I'm
gonna
not
say,
sure.
I heard, like, people were, like, at least the people that I was friends with were so stoked on the idea of having something like that in their area that they could go, but
Yeah.
I guess that was a bad example.
Back here.
Great presentation, and I really liked all your slides. You did a great job on them. I would, as far as some advice on the presentation, I'd like to see a little bit of like a separation between where you're going to start and where you're going to end up. Some of the stuff was like talking about local populations, and some of it was talking more national. And I think if you emphasize the drive-through idea, to me that's a thing that would really
Scalability.
Yeah, and people want convenience,
Yes.
So if you can have convenient drive-through food that's healthy too, that's kind of a major thing.
Thank you.
Okay. My daughter-in-law, Misha King, is vegan, and she makes some amazing recipes. She's up in Portland, which is no surprise, right? But one of the things she pointed out is that a lot of restaurants are not necessarily vegan restaurants, and I just pulled about 4 of them up here online, but they have vegan options. So there may be more competition out there than you actually realize. So emphasizing, like he said, the convenience factor, like having a truck that can go different places, or better yet, like the drive-through, so they can pick it up on their way to work or whatever, or dropping the kids off to school. That's something you really want to highlight.
So did you say I have like a separate slide that just is maybe like titled convenience, and then I kind of have the two options on the same slide, something like that?
Something along the lines like convenient quality,
Yeah. That's kind of like I guess our In-N-Out was really like our inspiration, sort of, is that it's simple and it's quality, their menu's simple and it's convenient and fast. So, you're right, I should emphasize that more.
I just thought what might be a really great idea, so you get to the drive-through thing earlier, would be a drive-through food truck.
How do you do that?
That's very meta.
You just drive up to your food truck
That's
and you
an
throw it
idea in and of
outside.
itself.
Because you can set up kind of anywhere, just like any normal food truck,
Yeah.
but it's way more convenient.
Actually, just thinking about that idea, that's actually, that
works
actually
for
might
all,
make
everything.
sense.
Works for
It would
everything.
be, I mean, if you go to like In-N-Out now and they're busy, they have someone standing outside with a tablet taking the orders.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Dutch
Um,
Brothers does that too.
Yeah, Dutch Brothers does that. So there's your drive-through.
Yeah.
In terms of locations, Chico State is probably going to be ideal for you.
And I'm because of the Generation Z and millennials, I'm thinking I want to target around college campuses.
That actually could work.
That's my market.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Santa Cruz guy. Santa Cruz has got to have. I ate there. I ate at some restaurant there. I thought they have a good vegan type of place there.
I haven't lived in Santa Cruz for about 10 years.
Oh, okay. Like San Francisco, you don't have to go to Portland. Probably San Francisco would have.
There was a place, wasn't there? Gorilla Bites?
Right, up north off Cohasset.
They were off Cohasset, and then they were also downtown.
They
for a while.
weren't strictly vegan though.
They had
They
very
just had
strong
they had
vegan-
a wider selection of like vegetarian options.
Right, and that's that was a place I wanted to like, but the food just didn't do it for me. I don't know.
Are you familiar with Cafe Gratitude?
Is that in San Francisco?
Yeah, and also Berkeley. And they're all vegan. They're more kind of like a sit-down, almost fine dining.
I have heard of them. They're really local, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. It's really good.
yeah.
But it's high end vegan. It's like
And it's super. It's not at all for mainstream. Like I think that the going
That's
to the
like fine
drive-through.
dining, trained chef kind of the place.
It's like extremely liberal. Like when you order your meals, you have to say like all the different meals are called like I am gracious or I am.
Your messages have
It's
your
like
Make
meals
America
have a
great
message.
like a total out of the
And
box.
you know the name of the chicken you're eating, right?
I would suggest that you do talk to restaurants like that are offering vegan options to see how much they're getting chosen and what their challenges are. And Live Love Juice would be a good resource for you because they are this healthy option that people are flocking to since they moved from 6th Street.
I was just there yesterday.
Yeah, and so what's happening there is people want food. So now they're getting all these food items.
And they look awesome.
So it could be, I know you don't want to compromise, you don't want to have people preparing their food at your site. But there are a lot of restaurants that will take in other people's products that are already created. So for example, that coffee shop over by In Motion.
Coffee Ranch?
Coffee Ranch, yes. So they take burritos from one of the food trucks and they advertise that food truck's name on the burritos. So if you could get some of your products inside of the...
Does that food truck have to park
No, they deliver it every morning. They deliver breakfast burritos there every morning.
Okay.
And then, so you could do something like that. The Live Love Juice has a little refrigerator just to get your name out there. It
It's
could be
just
an
like our
option.
burger, it has to be made fresh to order and you have to eat it right
Yeah.
away.
Right.
The fries are the same way.
Yeah.
The ice cream will melt. So really, I could figure a few items to do that, but it wouldn't be my main
Right.
jam.
Oh yeah, I just remembered, has anybody been to there? I had brunch at this, I think it's a Filipino restaurant right here on 8th Street, and they have a food truck on Thursdays.
Indies or...
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think they're open all the time, and they might be a good resource for you, since Thursday night farmer's market doesn't start. Just to walk in there and ask them, what was your experience in starting a food truck? Because I think the restaurant came first and then the food truck later. Like, what was your experience in, taking your recipes and transferring them to a food truck setting, kind of like your questions about how to physically operate out of a mobile location. They might be a good resource for you. And I think it's just right here on, isn't it 8th?
and
It's,
9th.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Board of Health issues are going to be a real stumbling block too, because they're really cracking down on the food trucks. So you really have to look at that as compliance. Yeah.
We were talking with like a restaurant owner yesterday, and she was saying that she spent like 2 months reading the little manual for the health department.
Yeah.
And so we have a source with her if we have a question on that stuff.
Yeah. There's even finer print than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Just one of the things about that I've helped people through, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. This has been about 15 years ago, but this family just wanted to start a business together and work together and be together in a restaurant. And they were going to go out. They're doing, through the research of doing their business plan, they're looking at just doing a competitive analysis about what other competitors are in the area and what other people are in town. They ended up finding a much better option for what they were doing than what they thought they were going to do. And their advice to other people that they've given is, if you want to open a restaurant in Chico, is just go to Davis or Berkeley and see what's going on there, and see what other things that other people have done, because that'll be in Chico in about 2 years. And that family opened up Pita Pit.
Pita Pit.
So if you might find that what you love and what you care about has already found a home somewhere else, but you're kind of doing as you're doing your competitive analysis and looking at what other things are out there on the market, there might be something that just sparks that idea and makes it happen for you.
Well, I have looked at Sacramento, and I feel like for such a big town, I was even surprised about looking at some of their vegan restaurants, like using corn oil and like just weird stuff when they market like, oh, we're more natural and wholesome, but they hadn't gone all the way. And then I lived in Davis for a little bit, so that's kind of why I have an interest in sustainable ag. But I feel like this burger fry, I think it hasn't really been done, or it hasn't really been done successfully, as far as I know, within a small radius of here. So I think it could be pretty big. Yeah.
What kind of research have you done on, running a restaurant is one of the hardest businesses to do. And so looking at food costs versus operational expenses, you're using a higher end of product. So have you looked into what you're going to do for pricing and the business model and all that?
I have a slide for that. Yes.
Hi. So I was looking at San Francisco because I lived there for like 10 years. And they have a couple of chain-looking things. There's one called, Loving Hut, and then Vegan Berg. Berg is spelled like a burger. And it says, vegan burgers in modern environs. It looks like a little walk-in type thing. The Nourish Cafe, there's several of them throughout the city. It says vegan, but Vegan Berg has the name in the title. And Loving Hut Vegan Restaurant, so I don't know, you might check
Yeah, you
those
did
out.
spark that. I should be looking at San Francisco and Berkeley more for.
Well, someone else mentioned Berkeley, which is a great idea, but San Francisco is a bigger, maybe a more mainstream thing. It gets into more of a mainstream.
So I was going to say, I don't know if you've been to Veggie Grill before. So they had one in LA when we were down there, and they opened one in San Jose. And it sounds really similar to this, and what I like about it is that we ate there when we were vegan. We also ate there after we stopped eating vegan, because it kind of positioned itself similar to kind of how you're trying to. It was like burger, fries, like kind of more traditional fast food, fast casual type vibe. So even when we weren't needing to eat vegan, it still sounded good to us. It wasn't like, oh, like I have to be in this really healthy sort of mood to be eating there. I think that worked pretty well for it. So it'd be a good place to check out too.
Veggie Grill.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Berlyn. That was wonderful. And this profitability slide is really good. But I know that in the restaurant industry, there are strict rules that you have to abide by, like percentages. So you don't want that restaurant nightmare coming to your restaurant and getting you.
There's actually a rule.
Yeah. No, it's a percentage of this is what your cost should be, then your operational expenses. I can talk to you about it.
I think you mean like guidelines.
Guidelines. Yes, guidelines.
We're gonna arrest you. You just might not make any money.
All right. Thank you so much, Berlyn. I have no idea why you were nervous. You did an amazing presentation. Really good. Everybody, feel free to hang out and drink some coffee. And thank you to BCAC TV, Idea Fab Labs, and 6 Degrees Coffee. And we'll see you next week. Bye. Bye.